guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review and wear test on the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Long Wear Concealer. I'm a huge fan of Makeup Revolution's complexion products. Their foundation is like my life. Their concealers are so good, especially the Conceal and Hydrate. Like, this is my baby. So when I said that they were coming out with a new one, I was like, yes, sign me up. So I went and picked this up at Ulta. This did retail for $10 and it's supposed to be a 16-hour wear, 20% more coverage, and it's supposed to be a demi matte finish. It's a long wearing concealer, crease proof. And just in case you guys are wondering, this is cruelty-free and vegan. I also did pick this up in the same shade as my Conceal and Hydrate, which is shade C10. Okay, so I pretty much left the under eyes a little bit more so on the bare side just so that we could really get this coverage that we need. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna apply the product on one side with my e.l.f. sponge, and then on the other side, we're gonna be using our Tati Beauty Blendiful because I've been really loving this for concealer and I just kind of wanna see how it does with both. So let's go ahead and start. This is a big mama. Okay, I'm gonna take the product. I think I'm just gonna start off with 2. Usually I do 3 little dots, but because it's supposed to be more coverage than the other 2, I'm like, let me just go in a little bit lighter. So I always like taking a damp sponge. I just feel like this is the best way to apply concealer because if you use a little too much or if it's a little bit more of a full coverage consistency, you tend to absorb a little bit more of that product with a damp sponge in case you are a little bit heavy-handed. So I mean, right away, this blended out beautiful, and that coverage is bomb. This is exactly the type of color that I like for my concealer. I like it to look much brighter than my foundation, so I think this is definitely also helping the fact that the foundation, even though it's a little bit darker on me right now, it's giving a good distribution. So we have that on, blended extremely well, doesn't feel heavy or cakey. I'm gonna go ahead and take my Kylie powder in Beige and I'm gonna set it with a sponge because you guys know that as soon as I apply concealer, I have to bake or else we have problems. So that's what I'm doing. So this is a demi matte, so I want to keep that in mind. Whenever I'm using a more mattifying concealer, I like to make sure that I don't leave the powder on for too long. If it's left for too long, it can tend to start to look cakey, heavy, or sometimes separates. I'm going to go in with this side. And I'm gonna be using the Blendiful. You guys know I've been really enjoying this. I just kind of want to see what kind of situation happens if I use this, which isn't a damp, sponge or anything like that. I think this coverage still looks exactly the same, even, going with this as it did with a damp sponge. So that just shows you that even if you do use a damp sponge, it's not gonna absorb too much of the product. You're still gonna get a good full coverage concealer. And like I mentioned, this concealer is $10, and I mean, I really do love drugstore concealers. I feel like they're amazing and they're so good now that I just don't see the need to spend $30+ on a high-end concealer. So I'm gonna go ahead and dust this away because like I mentioned, don't want to leave it on for too long. I'm noticing a little bit right here. I think because I went in with a little bit more powder, it kind of made the product look a little heavy just down here. Up here, it looks perfect. It looks really smooth. You can see. It just looks much lighter on this side, I feel like, because we left it a little bit shorter amount of time. But even so, this is one of those concealers that I personally would just leave powder on for a max of 30 seconds and then wipe it off because it is more so of that fuller coverage consistency, more so of that matte consistency. I feel like it doesn't really need that much time to really process. I already feel like the biggest difference is that this consistency definitely is a little bit thicker than my Conceal and Hydrate concealer by Makeup Revolution. I feel like that one is a little bit more lightweight. It's definitely more so of a buildable consistency, and this one you just get full coverage results right away. What I'm gonna go ahead and do now is finish off the rest of my makeup, then I'm gonna give you guys my first thoughts on everything, and then we can go ahead and start our day because this is gonna be a wear test. It claims to be 16-hour wear. Right now it is about to be 9 a.m. Okay guys, so I am back right now. It is 9:36 a.m. and I have some well-developed first impressions on this new concealer. So I have to say I'm very impressed with how well it has worked with the rest of my products. I didn't go ahead and apply any added powder to the areas where I did apply the concealer because I feel like they didn't need it. I feel like they do have that nice demi matte finish to it. I also noticed once I was looking up close at the concealer where I did powder, I didn't have any issues of it looking like it was cakey. I feel like at first when I was first testing off the powder on this side, I feel like because I did apply a lot of powder on this side, I did have a little bit residue. Once I swept it off and kind of let the skin really sit for a second, I started to see it just absorb right into the skin, and I feel like I'm not noticing any issues there whatsoever. But I do have to say, I do feel like a little bit of powder goes a long way when baking or setting your under eyes. Thus far, I feel like this is something that's really cool, and I'm glad that they are continuing to expand this collection because it's a good one. So I'll be seeing you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so it is now like 5 p.m. I just wanted to come on here real quick to do my check-in. It's the same day, I'm just wearing a completely different outfit because I'm actually shooting some pictures right now for my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, Themexicanbeautyy. But I just wanted to come and show you guys how the concealer looks. It actually looks pretty good. It's still holding up really well. It looks very nice and matte and in place, so that's good. So I'll see you guys at the end of the day for my final thoughts. Okay guys, so I am back. Last time you guys saw me, I was outside shooting some pics for Instagram. I have to say, the concealer looks absolutely great. It looks very in place. You guys can see the under eye is the only area of my face that looks matte, that looks in place, that looks like it looked in the morning, which I really appreciate because I feel like sometimes it's hard to find matte concealers that truly stay matte through the entire day, that look like the way that they looked when you first applied them. And I think this is definitely one of those concealers, and what makes it even better is the fact that this concealer is sold at your local Ulta and is very affordable. Now, the only thing with this that I definitely would say is that if you are somebody that wants a matte concealer, that likes matte consistencies, that you're gonna enjoy this. If you have dry under eyes, suffer from dryness, don't like thick concealers, you're not gonna wanna get this because it will definitely not be your cup of tea, and it'll probably be a little bit thicker than what you would expect it to be. I have to say, for me, I really like this. I would definitely only use it when I wear more so hydrating foundations or foundations that are more medium and buildable coverage or sheer coverage. If I'm wearing a very thick, full coverage foundation, you do not need this. And second of all, I feel like it'll end up being a little bit cakey looking. So I would definitely just stick to this for those more so like subtle makeup looks when you want it to be more of an even out distribution of like full coverage and buildable coverage. So that's just my recommendation. Also leaving your powder on for no more than 30 seconds and then dusting it away in your under eye to bake it, because if you leave it on for too long, it's gonna get a little bit thick under there. I mean, I have no issues now, but I do suggest that now that I have worn this the entire day. So those are pretty much all my thoughts. I definitely do recommend this. I recommend any of the Makeup Revolution concealers at Ulta because they are so good, and for the price, you cannot beat it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this review. I love trying out new products for you guys. If you guys have any recommendations on future products you want me to review, leave them down below in the comment section so I can go ahead and check them out. If you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. I hope that you enjoyed this video enough to stick around and become a member family here on YouTube because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. So go ahead and subscribe while you're at it. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you get notified as soon as I upload every single time, because I got you guys. What else do I want to say? Give this video a big thumbs up. Lets me know to continue doing these videos, and also pushes my video out into the YouTube world so more people can watch it and we can have a bigger fam in 2020. That being said, I love you guys so much, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.